What's going on, guys? It's Heath Legend here. I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to talk about the case in Wisconsin when it comes to the shooting of Jacob Blake. Now, I find it really interesting, the case of Jacob Blake, because already the media are running with the fact that this gentleman was shot by the police as a result of some sort of racially motivated deposition, in terms of he was shot numerous times simply because he was black. Now, if you look at the footage with regards to the attempted arrest and the shooting, you can clearly see that Jacob Blake was in fact resisting arrest, and not just resisting arrest, but he was actively defying police orders. Now, the case in Kenosha, as I said, it is really interesting because this gentleman was shot but not killed. You know, he's not even in critical condition. He's stable at the moment. People are still out there rioting. This chap had multiple arrests in the past. If you actively resist arrest and, quite frankly, if you defy police orders and instead of listening to what police say and put your hands up, don't shoot, right? And you go into your car to lean into your car, what do you expect the police in the States to do? People tend to forget this, right? But the police, the officers, as individual people, one, are humans, they're not emotionless androids, and two, they have families and lives to care about themselves. If you're a cop and you deal with thugs and criminals all day, never mind all the other crap that you've got to sort out that the police get called first to deal with, you're going to, every interaction you have is potentially life-threatening and potentially dangerous. If you're a cop and you've got dependents at home, you've got kids that look up to you, kids that you've got to look after, and other people that you care about, I'm sorry, but my life matters more than yours, effectively. It does, because I have to take care of my life. Your colour, your skin colour does not give you a privilege to defy police orders. And the reason why I say it's interesting is because obviously we've got people rioting now in Kenosha, and riots are they're gonna happen again around the US. And it's fascinating to me how the media always stoke these flames. They say it's racially motivated. They say there's a racial tone to it, but they barely covered the story of Cannon Hinnon, who was a 5-year-old lad who was riding his bike and got his head literally shot at point blank range by a black dude. Yeah, of course, people probably know that it wasn't racially motivated at all. People have got the common sense and the wherewithal to know that. But the difference is, it's the way the media paint it. If that was white on black, they would have ran with the story that it was racially motivated. Why? Because they get clicks. Because people like hate feeding. They love it. They love feeding into hate. People love feeding into hate because it gives their average, boring lives purpose. That's what it is. Whereas this case, they are advertising it. And that's what it is. It's advertising. They're advertising this case as racially motivated. And then that leads into the other aspect. Why do Black Lives Matter only ever hold in high regard criminals and thugs? I'll give you 2 examples. The case of Bernal Trammell, the chap that used to hold up signs, you know, he was a pro-Trump guy, pro-God guy, general, overall good man in the community. People who looked up to him, people really liked him. Barely any media coverage whatsoever. Black Lives Matter don't hold him up as an example to tell the kids about, to hold him in high regard. And the case of Sivad Johnson, the firefighter who lost his life saving children, the guy literally lost his life. Another frontline worker, another worker of the state, but not a police officer. Why do they not hold up these people? I'll tell you why. As a mixed race person, and I keep saying this in all my videos because I think it gives me not authority, but anecdotally, I suppose it makes me hold a bit more weight. It seems to me, growing up around various black people, and I'm talking, when I say various, I mean a lot. It seems to me that black culture has become this thing where, as long as it's anti-white, it's alright to be black. Now let me bear with me. What I mean is, I've noticed that the constant making of excuses for inexcusable behaviour, the pride of ignorance, and the overall propagating of thug culture is what Black Lives Matter hold up. The only people they're making to martyrs are people who had questionable lives and questionable life decisions. When you think about it, the police did not stop him. The police did not stop the guy at a traffic stop. The police didn't tail him. The police, in fact, were called to the area. And you must ask the question, because nobody seems to, who was it that called the police? Who was it that called the cops to that area? Because they weren't just tailing him. Someone called them. Someone called them to where he was.
It's real talk time.
Real talk, why?
And I am just going to come out and say it too. When is the time going to come when these low IQ, wannabe baller fools with absolutely zero future, bad attitude, and unrivaled entitlement think to themselves, maybe if I just stopped resisting arrest, maybe if I stopped being a thug, maybe, just maybe, one, I won't get blasted by the police, and two, maybe they'll stop stopping me. It's funny, really. I'm just going to put this out there right now. I use it UK as an example. Many people say, oh, well, I'm getting stopped because of my colour. I'm getting stopped because of the area that I'm in. I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm in an area and I'm wearing something like a tracksuit, yeah, which I wear very often, because I go to the gym very often. If I'm in an area and I look like someone who is the police are after due to a violent crime, and I've got that sort of attire on, I'm going to get stopped. What's my excuse? I'm mixed, but I don't look black, so what's my excuse? I don't have that ready-made hatred for the police internally within me. I don't have that ready-made excuse that I'm somehow being systematically oppressed. I'm somehow being systematically and structurally pigeonholed into a certain area, into a certain category. I don't have that excuse. Same thing with when I don't get a job as well. I don't have those ready-made excuses. So why is it okay for black people to do that? Why don't they understand that, yes, it's still going to happen if you don't dress a certain way, or you don't drive a certain car, or your car doesn't have certain features. I understand that. It's still going to happen because it still happens to normal everyday people as well. But why don't they understand that your actions from the start of the day to the end of the day also play a part in that? It isn't your skin colour. That isn't the only reason the police are stopping you. It's the clothes that you wear. It's the car that you drive. It's the features on the car. For instance, tinted windows. For instance, the area that you drive. If your car, if the model of your car doesn't necessarily fit within the area, the police are going to take interest in it. But then it's not your place to determine and to dictate to the police whether they can or can't stop you. At the end of the day, they have authority. Whether I like it or you like it, you have to just accept it, because unfortunately they're a police officer and I'm not. It's quite simple. And I'm not gonna lie, I would say I've been manhandled by police too for very little reason, because I was complying. So that, you know, there is that line as well where the police sometimes overstep the mark. And I'm not saying all police are good, because some police are right pieces of work, you know, so I'm on your side when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, what you've got to do, and what people don't understand, is you have to mitigate your own losses in these sort of situations. You have to do whatever you can. If Jacob Blake thought that he was being stopped unreasonably, he accepts his arrest, complies with orders, then takes it to court. He doesn't not comply, and then not even not comply. The dude literally walked to his car like the police officers were playing dress up.
Do you love black people?
You know, and I'm going to address this right now too, because in the past two videos, you know, I have laid waste to a lot of the internal black monologue, the internal black narrative. I'm just going to say this. Yes, I do love black people. I love black people. 90% of my friends are black. The family that I grew up with were black and are black. My grandfather himself, he came from Trelawney in Jamaica, and he came over to the UK during the Windrush with a degree in his pocket and had to do menial work. I understand the black struggle. I understand it. I empathize with it. But the problem is now, it's not the black struggle. It's the, how can we keep each other down in order to moan about people keeping us down? What excuses can we make? What things can we make cultural that weren't cultural 2 years ago that we can somehow make into a victimhood culture? I'll give you a perfect example of that happening right now when it comes to hairstyles. I'll touch upon this at a later date, but whenever a black person gets held up at work because their hair isn't suitable for work, they'll then say it's cultural. It's cultural. Yet 5 years ago, every black dude that I knew, they had skin fade. Every single one of them. Full on skiffle head skin fade. But now they're all growing doo-doo locks. Apparently it's cultural. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I do love black people. I do. But this whole internal victimhood narrative and this entitlement culture that is happening right now, it needs to be addressed. It needs to be spoke about. And there's not many people speaking about it. And then when people do speak about it, they get called all sorts of names because they don't fall in line. This is just my opinion. I could be right, I could be wrong, but the footage doesn't lie really. If you like this video, if you like what you heard, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Just getting started, but hopefully I'm going to keep going. Until the next video, peace out.